Hello everyone, today we're going to be assembling the AutorCar and using the AutorCar along with the Scratch program to be able to control the car and have it move through an obstacle course with our arrow keys on the keyboard. So let's get into it. So now we're going to get into assembling the AutorCar. So these are the materials that we need. These are 2 of the ping pong cubes. This is one piece C213 circular piece, another small yellow piece C208. This large black piece is C207. We have 2 of these MD01 pieces, and then the 2 wheels, which are WL04. So to assemble the Autobot, we can start with our 2 cubes. First, we can take this circular yellow piece. This is going to connect them together in the middle, like this. This yellow cross piece, C208, is going to go on the top and connect them just like that. We can add these black MD01 pieces to the sides. Make sure they line up with what they're fitting into. And then we have this piece that goes on the bottom. Just that in. And then finally the wheels go on the side. And there you go. Alright, so now we are starting to do the code for the obstacle racing Autobot. We're going to start with the when the flag is clicked block so that we can start the program whenever we want to. And for this one, we're going to use a forever loop so that it's basically constantly repeating because we want it to sense whenever we click either the up arrow, down arrow, left or right, or the space bar. And with the forever loop, it'll basically, after you do something like press one of the keys, it'll execute that and then keep going basically forever until we end the program. And so in that forever loop, we're going to have a few different if statements to detect when the keys are pressed. So we can drag one of these in to start here. For the condition of our if statement, it is going to be when a key is pressed, which is this block right here. We can take this, put it in the condition of the if statement, and we can start out with the up arrow for going forward. So when we press our up arrow, we want the robot to go forward. Oops. And to do that, we can go down to our AutoCar blocks that we have here, and this set velocity block is what we're going to use. So if we want it to go straight, we can just have it set the velocity to the same on each wheel. That's what this left and right are. Right now they're at 100. That might be a little fast. We can bring them down to like 60 each so that it's a controlled forward movement when we press the up arrow. And so now we're going to repeat that for our other keys. So we can go grab a new if statement again in the control section, drag that in here, and I'm going to put in all of them right now because we're going to be using 5 keys total. All right, and so now we can grab this block again, change this key to the down arrow, and then we can set this up for the rest of our keys as well. And then go down to the AutoCar blocks again, and we'll get the set velocity for each of the keys that we want to change the velocity for. So we have on the up arrow, when we press the up arrow, it sets the velocity to 60 positive on both wheel, which will make it go forward. The down arrow, we want it to go basically the same speed backwards, so that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna have each of these changed to negative 60. We can have this if statement sensing for the right arrow key to be pressed. And now, when we want the robot to turn right, think of what you want the velocities of each wheel to do. So, for the robot to be able to actually turn right, you want the left wheel to be moving while the right wheel is stationary, and that will actually get the robot to turn the way you want. So we're going to set the velocity of the right wheel to 0 and the velocity of the left wheel to something, doesn't have to be very high, like 20, because it's turning in a pretty tight circle, so it doesn't have to go very fast. And now we can do that same thing for turning left, but on the opposite side. So we're going to have the left wheel with a velocity of 0 when we press the arrow key, and the right wheel with a velocity of 20. And the only one that is slightly different from all of these is the space key. This is going to be to stop the robot, basically, because since this isn't in the forever loop, it'll kind of just keep going if we don't have a way to stop it. So when the space key is pressed, we're going to use the same velocity block and just set each velocity to 0 so that it stops. And that is all the code that you need for this mission. So now we're going to do a demonstration of the AutorCar code. So the goal here is basically to use the code that we just wrote to get the robot to move from this end through these few obstacles and over to this end of the table. So we're going to click our green flag right now to get it going, and now start with the forward arrow key and turn right, nice and slow, and then we go forward again and we can turn left. And then just repeat that through the course. And then the space bar to get it to stop. So we just finished working with the AutorCar to make it race through an obstacle course. We learned how to use the forever loop in Scratch and the velocity block of the AutorCar. And you should probably try to change around the turning styles and velocity values yourself to make the car do different things. There's a lot of things you can learn through this format, so tinker around and try to get better with it. And I'll see you guys in the next lesson.